This morning for you on Daybreak, sales are up for firearms in 2020. We'll look at why that could be the case.
Also, we'll take a look at why you might be less likely to land your dream job if your interview is done virtually. Those stories and more this morning on Daybreak. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Today is Thursday. I'm Jennifer Abreu.
And I'm Joe Morano as we are here getting you set for that Friday that everyone's always inching toward, right? I feel like that's always the case.
Yes, it is, especially when we are going to have a nice weekend. And for fall lovers, it will feel more like it. It's when we lose that humidity. You know, I loved summer, and I didn't think I was ready for fall until we started feeling like it a little bit.
Right. I got you. I know what you're saying there. Lisa Rapp is here to bring us that news of if that's going to happen or not, though. Good morning.
Yeah, it's going to feel much more like fall. I don't think I'm ready for it, though. I love my little dresses. I'm not ready to put jeans back on, you know, and boots and jackets, but... Yeah, no, it will be nice, though. Lots of sunshine and dry.
Sounds good, because on Saturday there is the Food Truck Festival at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, which is outdoors, so it's nice, something nice to do. So the weather will cooperate with us?
Absolutely, and at least it won't be sweltering hot out there either. You'll be able to enjoy it. We've got some clear skies out there this morning. Roads are dry as you head out to work and school. You've got these temperatures at 59 degrees in Springfield, calm winds, and the pleasant dew points in the 50s. Get a nice start out there this morning. Dry roads with clean sweeps on satellite and radar, just a couple of clouds. 61 degrees in Harrison, 61 degrees in Monette, and 59 degrees in Springfield. Dew points in the upper 50s and lower 60s, so it's very comfortable on the muggy meter map. You'll find some dry roads through the afternoon. No weather hazards for you today. Again, just some smooth sailing. For recess, the kiddos will have lots of sunshine, temperatures getting into the upper 70s. So really nice, sunny, not too terribly hot and humid. You're looking at a cool high at 79 degrees, A+ by dismissal. It's going to be very nice out there today. So it continues to feel like fall, a quiet week ahead. I'll recap some of Sally's rain totals coming up in 10 minutes.
A nurse practitioner from the Ozarks is back home after helping workers in New York City with the Department of Defense. The Patriot Guard riders escorted Navy Commander Melinda Kendrick back to her home in the Pleasant Hope area yesterday. She was stationed in the ICU at Woodhull Hospital in Brooklyn back in March. She led a medical team on 12-hour shifts responding to COVID-19. She then went to Chicago and worked on COVID-19 testing and treating recruits. After a 2-week quarantine, she'll assume her role as a nurse practitioner for family medicine in the Ozarks.
Missouri State University is offering free COVID-19 testing this week. It's available for asymptomatic students, faculty, and staff. You don't need an appointment. Just stop by any of the 3 testing sites on campus and make sure you haven't had anything to drink or eat for 30 minutes. Test results should be available within 24 to 48 hours. For a list of times and locations for these tests, head on over to our website, ozarksfirst.com. Again, this is only for those attending or working at MSU.
We've reported in the past this year that sales for guns and ammunition have increased lately. According to the Brookings Institute, about 19 million firearms were purchased in the United States in just the first 6 months of this year.
In general, the sales have been much higher this year than in previous years. There's a lot of new gun buyers this year that I've noticed. A lot of people that maybe have owned a gun or two in the past, but they're coming in to buy more self-defense related weapons.
That was Zach Terhark. He's the owner of Eagle Armory in Springfield. He believes more people are buying because of recent protests around the country and, of course, the pandemic. Many are concerned about how to protect their house and families, so they decide to purchase a firearm. He's noticed more customers buying handguns, AR-15s, shotguns, and ammunition, which is now in short supply.
It's been the most difficult thing to get, and I think that's going to be what causes the most problems as far as people trying to be able to recreational shoot. As far as this year and next year. The ammo supply is just really hard to get a hold of, and it's affecting people that typically would go out and target shoot frequently.
Eagle Armory is actually limiting some ammo sales to customers as a result of this shortage. He believes it's due to manufacturing slowdowns because of work shutdowns that happened earlier this year.
We have a follow-up to bring you this morning. Two men from rural Seymour, Missouri, who pleaded guilty to charges of molesting a relative will not be seeing any prison time. The brothers are 22-year-old Aaron Schwartz and 18-year-old Petey Schwartz. According to online court records, both brothers received 5 years probation and must complete a sex offender treatment program in the next year. They also must complete 100 hours of community service and pay $250 to the Law Enforcement Restitution Fund. The brothers are from an Amish family, and each must also write an apology letter to the Amish community in Seymour within 30 days. That's all according to the Springfield News Leader.
In some political news, 2 months after the governor called a special session about violent crime, it has finally adjourned. The governor asked for 5 provisions for this, and then he expanded the call for the session and wanted jurisdiction of St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's office, but only 2 of the 5 bills are now headed to his desk. The 3 that didn't pass involve increasing the penalties of endangering the welfare of a child, unlawful transfer of a weapon to a minor, and current jurisdiction. The 8-week special session has cost more than $200,000, but the governor believes it was worth it.
Anything I can do to protect a child, a victim of a homicide, is the least of my worries. What the legislatures, what it costs to get them in here. It's about trying to protect people in this state right now.
Governor Parson added there could be another session in October to appropriate funding for the Witness Protection Program bill.
New this morning, from monthly meetings to finding new hires, much of our working life has now been moved online. But 3 Missouri professors say it takes a little extra work to make the change successful. Caller 10's Nija McDonald joins us live now in the studio to explain why. Nija, good morning.
Yeah, Jen, good morning. Without the handshake and normal in-person body language of an interview, it can seem difficult for a person to land a job.
Companies are hiring, but for a lot of them, the interviews with potential employees are moving online, which prompted 3 Missouri professors to research how employers perceive candidates they meet with through video platforms like Zoom.
We had people observing an interview, and when they observed it in person in the room, the ratings were higher or more positive than when they observed the exact same interaction through video.
The study used a 10-point scale and asked the participants questions like how likable the person was and if they would hire them.
That's a big difference between being rated a 7 and a 5. It was just one of the biggest differences I've found so far in my scientific career.
However, the professors say this doesn't mean video interactions can't be successful.
They need to be standardized and either do all Zoom or all in-person interviews. And especially now, that probably means even if the candidate is nearby or could hop in for an in-person interview, they should still probably do it via Zoom if they're interviewing other candidates via Zoom.
For the applicant, it's all about engaging with everyone who is on the call.
Or the applicant might consider taking a moment to greet every person in the Zoom call.
If you're just going to passively observe somebody, then you might come away with a different opinion than through Zoom than if you were in the room.
Which means it's important to make that connection virtually and not get distracted.
It's definitely true that it's harder to stay focused and pay attention through the computer, for one thing, because the computer is so good at distracting us with Facebook and emails and other things.
Well, the professors say their next goal is to see if in-person observers are better at distinguishing between a good and bad job applicants than video observers.
Thank you, Nija. We are starting out with dry roads on our Color 10 Live Drive. It's a crisp, cool, and pleasant start this morning. A+ weather by dismissal, mostly sunny and 79 degrees. A look at your full forecast is coming up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News.